All right, can you hear me now anyhow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so in all of last year, 2020, the stats have come out about the questions that have, how many questions have been asked in different Stack Exchange communities, and it also breaks down how many of those questions were closed and how many of the ones that were closed actually got reopened and how were they closed. So all of all of those extended stats are a bit boring, but what's shocking to me is how poorly Joomla is doing, Joomla Stack Exchange. So in the whole year of 2020, Joomla Stack Exchange had 584 questions, which is just over one per day, which isn't great. It's probably, in fact, one of the worst in all of the Stack Exchange communities. Next in line, working from the bottom up with the CMSs, was Drupal Answers. They had 5,345. So in case you're not writing this down, they had 10 times as many questions. Moving up from that came WordPress. They had 14,793, so roughly 3 times as many as Drupal. So it goes Joomla. Drupal had 10 times as many as Joomla, and then WordPress had 3 times as many as Drupal. Then, on top of that, the Stack Overflow community as a whole, they had 3,077,287 questions last year. And so that's roughly 200 times the number that WordPress had. So I don't know what to say, but it's pretty dismal. You can't have a community growing when it only has one question a day. People just won't come and check in. So it's a bit of a sad state of affairs.
So is the problem that we're just not good question askers? Or the people finding up the channels within Joomla to ask their questions?
Well, I'm gonna, it'll all be in my book to be written, but it's multifaceted why it's not taking off. The truth is, people that are into Joomla are sometimes novice or not web developers at all. Maybe they have no technical ability and they're completely incapable of asking a question, and that's fine. But then what's also true is that there are roughly the same number of Joomla questions posted on Stack Exchange as there are on Joomla Stack Exchange. Stack Overflow versus Joomla Stack Exchange. So what people are doing is maybe they don't know about Joomla Stack Exchange and they know about Stack Overflow, so they just post it there. Or there are cases where there are people that are members of both communities and they choose to post on Stack Overflow because they know that there's more people there, because they know there's potentially faster support. I mean, Stack Overflow questions, they can be answered in a matter of seconds and minutes because it's just humming with activity. Whereas Joomla Stack Exchange, people pop their head in once a day, and it's not that many people popping their head in. So sometimes it takes a whole day before you even get like inquiries about, getting clarification about your question or helping you with debugging or suggestions or any comments. Sometimes it takes a day, and if you're in a development environment, you're on the clock, you're going to need quick answers. So it's really punishing that Stack Overflow does so well and that Joomla Stack Exchange just never gets any traction. I don't know if I've said it to this group before, but the other moderator that I share duties with, he lives in Greece, and he's looking to get out. Like, I think he's just burned out and had enough. He pops his head in every once in a while, but he's pretty much ready to go. But the headquarters have said, look, if you're not fussed, just stay in the seat and be active as much as you can, because there's no one else that wants to become a moderator. Mm-hmm. So it's really depressing, and there's no real glimmer of sunshine going on. I don't know what could possibly drive it out. I mean, what the community truly needs is a collection of at least 10 or 20 people who pop their head in every day that are called SMEs. They're subject matter experts. And despite being a moderator myself, I'm not a subject matter expert. There are things that I can help with, but I don't really know. And like, I don't have my head around it. I'm not using it every day. So I'm not one of those people, but we might have 2 people that would qualify as SMEs that pop their head in every couple days or maybe once a week. And that's just not good enough for the community to thrive. So I don't know. I think what it comes down to is that Joomla, the organization, needs to encourage their core contributors to also pop their head into Joomla Stack Exchange so that they're fielding questions as well. But those folks are probably overworked and focused on other things anyhow. So perhaps it's a case of there's just not enough talent floating around.
Do you think there'll be a flurry of questions when Joomla 4 comes live?
I can only hope.
I think there probably will be a mass of questions because people will want the answers immediately.
I hope that there is. And in fact, I mean, for all the people that, such as yourselves, they're going to be, to quote you earlier, Stuart, if people are just going to start doing stuff with Joomla 4 just to get their hands dirty, then you are the people that are going to be experiencing things, having questions, hitting roadblocks, and being able to set up really good, simple questions that can be thrown around and put into the tumbler. I mean, I'm looking at the questions every day, and if there isn't any new content generated, if there aren't any new questions or there aren't any new answers, the system automatically regurgitates, it recycles old pages. And so every time I'm logging in, I'm seeing old stuff. I'm seeing old unresolved questions that are coming through, and they can't be resolved. Like, I don't have the ability to resolve them, or they're in like Joomla 2.5 or something that nobody cares about anymore. So it's just recycling this old bad content. It's just sort of like, it's compost. Who wants to be watching the compost tumbler? You're not going to be logging in every day doing that.
It could be a case for us to sort of kick Joomla 4 off in the Joomla Stack Exchange by actually putting up some simple questions on some of the stuff that we've asked tonight. How do you undo the sample data install, for example, if you click it accidentally? So there could be some basic things to sort of get a bit of interest coming on in Joomla 4 already.
Yeah.
I was chatting to someone today and they said that Joomla Day USA is being planned as an
Sounds
online,
like a COVID hotspot to me.
as a virtual conference.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking it might be an opportunity for you to spread the word.
Poke my head in there.
As you're so good at talking, so on the presentations. So maybe
who's running that?
I'm not sure. I was chatting to Robbie from Fabric today.
Yeah.
And she just mentioned it. And so.
And when is that going ahead? Do you know when that is?
I think they were talking about April.
Okay.
So I'm not sure how concrete that is. What I wrote down.
It depends if the USA burns down in the meantime. I'll be sure.
Anything could happen. Give it a couple of days.
D-Day's coming.
Oh dear. Well, I don't really have time to put together a presentation, but depending on how I contribute, maybe I could say something.
Similar to what you've done at our user groups anyway, just letting people know it's there and how to get involved and the benefits of how it's structured as opposed to the forum.
Yeah. Well, I suppose that's probably the only avenue that I haven't gone down is reaching out through the other major cities of the world and trying to get interest there. I mean, I guess I keep beating the same drum here, but
I try. I just can't answer anything.
Yeah, and that's the same.
All the ones I can have already been answered, and I go down.
Yeah.
I could have
Well,
helped
and
with that
there's,
one.
you know, this is different than the Joomla Forum is. Like, it's not linear. So just because someone has reached a resolution for the question, if you have something that's valuable, that's different, then we actually want those additional answers to the questions. Like, that's healthy for the community as well. Even if you're not sure if your solution is better than the other solution, you should still put it on there, and then other people will decide, and they might even inform you that, oh, your way is better, or it's not better, and here's why. And so it gets that dialogue going.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same for me. You're saying it's so infrequently that I'm able to answer a question. There was one this week. There happens to be this guy in South Africa who he runs I think a homeless shelter or something, and he has all these really, really heavy pivot queries that he's doing for his plot-a-lot graphs, and he's got so much data, and he just needs help manufacturing these queries. And every time he posts it, I'm the only one who chimes in, and I answer him every time. So I feel really good that I'm able to help him out. But there's really, you know, if I didn't answer it, I don't think anyone else would. So that at least gives me a sense of purpose. But other than that, I haven't answered any questions for ages. I just don't know. Yeah. Oh, anyhow, I guess I just carrying on. See if something changes. Maybe it will be Joomla 4 that triggers a big catalytic change. I don't know.
I think it probably will, because you know, there's going to be a requirement for a lot of assistance with some of the functionality that is around the fringes of Joomla 4, for sure. So.
Nicola, yeah, they are asking some pretty tricky stuff, but the truth is the reason I can answer it is because it's not a purely Joomla question. It's actually a SQL question. So that's the only advantage I have. Whenever there's questions that sort of fringe on the outer borders of Joomla, then I can chime in. That's about it.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Mike. Thanks for doing your bit for the greater good. So,
yeah, I'll hang tight.
We'll have a beer on your behalf today.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anybody got anything else they want to raise? Or the only other thing, no, we'll talk about that later. Patrick sent out a bit of a bulletin for those who aren't on the mailing list for the virtual Jug group. Patrick sent out a bit of a catch-up email message as part of that today. So just have a look through that. If you're not on that meetup group, make sure you also subscribe to that meetup group. So, and we'll look forward to a full meeting with proper speaker rather than just me rambling next month.
That was good. I made some notes, so I might do you just do a slideshow? Oh my God. YouTube video for the Joomla Australia site next, or?
Yeah, so just carve up the video and cut out all the bits where I say I'm an R a lot and
my kids.
Make it something sensible and
in the background.
And then we post that up, yeah, so that's all good. So if you've got any notes you want to incorporate, I can put them in various points in the video actually as a static slide even. Anything you think might be relevant.
Kylie, just before we go, do you think it's worth me getting in touch with, did you say Robbie?
I don't know. Yeah, I can flick her an email and just say, are you looking for any international speakers? And just mention that.
Yeah, I think I want to have a conversation with someone before I commit to anything, but just to see what they're cooking up and if it would be.
Well, maybe I
just
ask her if she's one of the organizers, or can she give me the contact details of any of the organizers? Yeah. And then you can chat to them to see if it's worth.
Yeah, if you could give me a lead in, that would be interesting. See what happens.
Yeah.
Got a question?
Yeah. Has anybody heard of Robbie Jackson?
I have.
I wouldn't be surprised. He's probably a reason why I'm not getting so many questions. It's because if you have a look at YouTube and the videos that he has on Joomla, anybody who looks at the videos is going to have a lot of their questions answered. Excellent videos.
Right.
Yeah, Robbie Jackson is one of the SMEs that actually chimes in and contributes to good stuff. If I asked a question and Robbie Jackson answered it, I knew I was getting some good stuff.
Oh yeah, he knows the nuts and bolts.
It's very rare that he answers a question and I don't upvote it because it's just good all the way to the bones. Yeah, it's good.
Well, he's too busy making videos.
Yeah, he certainly knows what he's talking about. There's no question.
Oh, absolutely. I swear by him.
Add him. Cool.
Good feedback, Don. Thanks for that.
No problem.
All right. Well, there's only the four of us, so we might depart the scene. And,
Oh, I have to go back to real life.
Did Mick make it back from WA, or are you in still over there?
For me,
Yeah. Are you back? You're going to, when last we spoke, you were on your way to WA for Christmas or something.
yeah, I went.
Oh, you did? Oh, you got there?
Yeah, it was sweet. I was over there during the lockdown, so I missed the whole thing. I was over there for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, good plugging.
Come back here, now I've got to wear a mask when I go places. Silly business.
Not for long.
only from the table to the bar and back.
Yeah. It's not fun.
Okay. Cheers, you guys.
All right, take care, everybody. See you next month.
You done?